I'd like to talk originally about this Yiddish intelligence services that operate out of Kursk, known as the Alphabet. Now, this is the personal intelligence service of the Lubavitcher Reeb. So it's interesting to consider this is a personal intelligence service of the Schneerson. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. Historically, according to Rabbi Marvin Antelman, the Lubavitcher's Reeb's personal intelligence service, i.e. the Alphabet, was in conflict with the Sabbatean networks, i.e. the Jericho group. However, this is not actually the case, and both the Alphabet and the Jericho group are represented in networks that interconnect with devices police. So it's all interesting to consider indeed. The viewers may be wondering why I keep returning to devices police. Indeed, this is the main focus of my mission, the exposure of devices police and Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop. Indeed, Lubavitcher Hasidim are operative through networks of Mossad agents here in Wiltshire, operating arms running and drug running schemes, as well as overseeing the organ harvesting network that operates out of Walter Rose and Sons, and overseeing the Mossad child-abduction rings, such as those operated by Wiltshire police, especially Calne police due to the close proximity of Calne to Bowood House, which is a centre for Ninth Circle cult activity and Hellfire Club gatherings. So it's interesting to consider this. The Lansdowne family are a very dirty bloodline, operative for agendas that concern Israeli intelligence. So it's interesting to consider indeed. There are Israeli concerns regarding Bowood House. Indeed, Israeli operatives believe Bowood House has become too obvious an operation to continue to provide children for that ring. However, devices are attempting to communicate with Kurdish elders to open up a new pipeline overseen by Turkish military intelligence for the child abduction operations. However, due to the lucrative nature of the child abduction operations being run by a Bowood House, it is doubtful the Mossad would want to see that particular child abduction ring shut down. Therefore, they will utilize proxies for the running of it, and the abduction of children will still continue through the Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop courtyard, where children are transferred from one vehicle that is operated by Kurdish mobsters into a local truck, which then continues the children on the last stage of their journey from war zones in the Middle East to Bowood House, where they are ritually raped, sacrificed, their corpses defiled, and their flesh is eaten. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. This is a truth about Wiltshire that the British intelligence community would rather not reveal in the public domain, and indeed the British intelligence community are attempting to invoke defense of the realm as regards to me. So it's interesting to consider I may end up as mental patient X in Broadmoor solitary for the rest of my life on a charge of treason, as the British intelligence community and the British police are constantly attempting to make me out to be a Russian agent. It's all very funny. When something gets exposed about the British police, everyone starts crying, Russian, Russian. So it's all really quite interesting to consider. And for me, as an intelligence operative, I find it incredibly funny how stupid everyone is. Indeed, devices people are at the height of stupidity. Indeed, they say that I'm a traitor for exposing the faith of Ishmael, which is really funny indeed. The faith of Ishmael are majority percentage rapists among the male population, so my opinions on them still stand. Indeed, there are Nazi networks operating here in Warminster who want to shoot me for exposing the false conflict between Nazis and Sabbateans, and indeed, this is true. All of these elements are interconnected, indeed. Vermin, known to Khan's folk as Cass Lynch or Cassius Lynch, denies that there's any interconnectivity between the Order of Nine Angles and the Zionists. However, there is a lot. Indeed, you must also consider the fact that David Mayat, also known as Abdul Aziz ibn Wayat, was at one point Faith of Ishmael and has connections to the Donmet cult. So it's interesting to consider there is a huge Islamic and Sabbatean crossover with the Order of Nine Angles, and indeed the handlers of the Order of Nine Angles are operative from Tel Aviv. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, all of these neo-Nazi satanic covens, as well as Druid groves, have Israeli handlers. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the majority of satanic ritual abuse operations in the Wiltshire area are handled in some capacity by Mossad operatives. Indeed, a lot of the ritual rape and prostitution of beautiful young female mental patients at Green Lane Psychiatric Facility is handled by Dr. Peter Cohen, the Sabbatean Mossad operative connected to the Jericho group. So it's all very interesting to consider. There are also Hasidics of the alphabet on the Green Lane board. So it's all very interesting to consider how all of this links up and how there is a joint British-Israeli intelligence capacity running the Green Lane Psychiatric Facility and the Roundway experiment, complete with Nazi mind control programmers and even the occasional guest programmer from the KGB, usually of Jewish heritage. So it's all very interesting to consider how all of this does interlink. Indeed, Devizes Police are issuing written warnings not to watch my content to residents of Wiltshire. So it's quite interesting indeed. Devizes Police have gone into damage control mode, attempting to hold on to their paedophile ring, basically. It's all very interesting to consider that when British paedophile rings are exposed by British citizens, the authorities and the intelligence community and the police immediately make this person out to be a Russian agent. And this is the Blackwell legacy, what with the schizophrenic Michael attempting to explode the British intelligence community and Israeli intelligence community oversight of the Nazi mind control project, the Roundway experiment in 1954. He was so-called exposed as a Russian spy, which he was not. He was a paranoid schizophrenic mental patient in a rather similar position to what I am today. Indeed, I am a small town lunatic. That's all I really am. A small town lunatic. I like living in these market towns. Indeed, I don't particularly like British cities. Too many Faith of Ishmael adherents and wannabe gangsters, so it's annoying indeed. However, these wannabe gangsters in the cities aren't quite as pathetic as the ones you see in places like Devizes, in their designer jean shorts hanging around a butcher's shop, which I found very entertaining. Indeed, as a person who has lived in urban areas, I found the Devizes wannabe gangsters to be some of the most hilarious people I'd ever encountered. Take, for instance, PC David Mules of Devizes Police. He is funny. Very funny. Indeed, returning to the topic at hand, Hasidic elements, i.e., Hasidic mystics, have forecast my death for the 4th of July. Indeed, Hasidic mystics have been forecasting my death for 7 years and getting it wrong. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, on the 4th of July, there is set to be an explosion in central Warminster set up by Kurdish terrorists. So it's interesting to consider that these people would be Mossad proxies and helped in their efforts by Warminster police. Indeed, this false flag attack that will result in my death will be blamed on the GRU as a supposed revenge burn for supposedly exposing one of their agents. I imagine that would be Yevgeny Maximov, who is interestingly an operative of the alphabet. He is Yiddish, so it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the Maximov family are Tatar and Yiddish, so it's interesting to consider this. Indeed, the GRU want to explode the Houses of Parliament in retaliation for some sort of offence at the moment. So I expect they're more concerned with blowing up politicians than blowing up me. So it's all very interesting. So don't let this make you believe that I am a GRU agent, because I'm not. I'm not too fond of the satanic networks of the GRU. Indeed, this comprises about 30 cells of the GRU are operative for the neo-Nazi agenda. So it's interesting to consider that I'm not a fan of neo-Nazis at all, despite having operated under mind control as a Nazi agent for the British intelligence services for several years. Indeed, people cast doubt on the fact that I was mind controlled. However, if you look at my theories, you can see the mind control at the time. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I was a lunatic mind controlled by British intelligence operatives and later Russian intelligence operatives to be an asset in the Gladio agenda of British intelligence. And in my time of being brainwashed by the Russian intelligence services, I was utilized in a Project Stern mind control experiment, whereby I would disseminate Russian neo-Nazi ideology. So it's interesting to consider, indeed, racism, effectively, which is something I don't particularly behold in high esteem. So very interesting to consider. Indeed, these were Putinite elements that were involved in the brainwashing scheme. And what's interesting about that is that Putin is himself a Sabbatean through his mother and doesn't have a foreskin. Indeed, I've also commented on the fact that the majority of Putin's boys are actually closet homosexuals. And Putin himself is a pederast. So it's all very, very interesting to note. Indeed, it's all very strange to consider that I have many intelligence operatives hovering around me at the moment. Indeed, Mossad were watching me this morning and commenting on me with hatred in their vehicle. It's interesting to consider. Indeed, I don't believe Mossad operatives are able to feel true happiness within themselves. This is the thing about the Sabbateans, is that they are not happy. Despite having so much wealth and power, they are not happy people. Indeed, Devises residents also are not happy people. Indeed, they want to protect their child rape fetishist town. But the reality is, they're unhappy, which is why they behave as they do. So it's all very interesting. The reason they want to protect their child rape fetishist town is because they're worried about comebacks, i.e., what could happen if the world knew what Devices is, i.e., the child rape capital of the United Kingdom. Indeed, it's all very interesting that during my time in Devices, I was actually quite happy there because certain young people who had not been too exposed to the cult were nice. However, the adults who had all been exposed to the cult were all disgusting, so it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, there are so many vile people in that town. It's unbelievable, and you can tell there's a dodgy energy just when you're there. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Sabbatean and Devices have an arrangement whereby I will be killed by Kurdish terrorists on the 4th of July in a combined plot between Sabbateans, the residents of Devices, and the neo-Nazi elements operating here in Warminster. Indeed, they have contracted 17 Kurdish terrorists to shoot me in the street and then blow up a building in central Warminster. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, these people are going to quite a length to see me erased from the earth, including carrying out a false flag attack, which will be blamed on a GRU revenge burn for me supposedly exposing Yevgeny Maximov, who's Yiddish. So it's all very interesting to consider what's going on here. This is an alphabet plot, i.e., conjured by Hasidic Reeves in New York, Boston, Tel Aviv, and Moscow. So it's all very, very interesting to consider. It's all very strange. Indeed, Putin has always been very close to the Reeves and Lubavitchers in general. So it's interesting to consider how he is operative for the Sabbateans and is handled at the top level by Jericho Group networks, running the KGB as a shadow entity. So it's all very interesting how all of this interlinks. Indeed, Devices Peace are claiming that I should be arrested on a special branch executive order for exposing Zionism, as apparently exposing Zionism is now considered terrorism. Indeed, if that's the case, then this is a rather ridiculous country we're living in. Setting. Freedom of speech is diminishing rather quickly, especially in regards to what you can and can't say about Zionists and the faith of Ishmael. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, my concerns really are Devices Police and the organ trade. It's just interesting to see how the alphabet and the Jericho Group interlink with Devices Police. Indeed, the alphabet have a handler operating Devices Police called Moshe Goldstein. So it's interesting to consider. Indeed, this guy originates in Kursk, but now lives in Wootton Bassett and oversees the Devices organ trade for the alphabet. So it's all very interesting. All of these things do link up. And Devices Police, considering their labyrinth cult rituals, are technically of a Sabbatean continuum. Indeed, PC Baruch Miller is chiefly operative as a member of PC Stuart Welsh's Child-Abduction network. So it's all very, very interesting to consider how all of this interlinks up and how Israeli agents are running a lot of Wiltshire operations in accordance with KGB directives as well as DVD ones. So it's all very interesting, and all of this is happening with the complete license and encouragement of the British intelligence community and the British security services. So it's all very interesting to consider how all of this links up. Indeed, Blaise Metrovelli, the Director General of MI6, is operative for a neo-Nazi Bilderberg DVD operation. Indeed, there is a false conflict between this network and the Jericho group. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, they use Hebrew commoners as ritual sacrifices for occult gain. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Blaise Metrovelli, the Director General of MI6, wants to sleep with me, but that's not happening. Indeed, I'm going to leave it there.